The Jesus Connection is the only place I wanna be.
Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passion, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
We have our special guest, Miss Evelyn Booker, is in the house. So I'm going to bring her on in. Great day. How are you?
I am marvelous. How are you?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. We're still above ground, so that's a blessing within itself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is. Well, awesome. I am excited to have you on today. So share with the audience a little bit about yourself and who you are, and then we'll get into what you do.
Okay. My name is Evelyn Smith Booker. I'm the 8th of 10 children born in an eastern North Carolina small farm town. Grew up, my parents planted and grew everything that we ate and drank. So being from a family of 10, you learn all kinds of life lessons. And then I graduated from high school. Well, first of all, my sister Clara and I integrated the school system in Columbus County in 1965. So you can imagine the kinds of things we encountered. But in every life lesson, it's something that will stick with you for life. That's why they're called life lessons.
Yes.
But I went to North Carolina Central University after graduating from high school.
Yeah.
And in 1969, which is when I went to North Carolina Central, my mom had a massive stroke. So after first semester, I had to leave and take care of her for 9 months to nurse her back to health, for her physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, all of the above. Running a full household at 18 years old.
Wow.
But I went back to North Carolina Central, and by carrying a heavy load, I was still able to graduate on time with my class. So that was a feat within itself. And after graduating from college, married my college sweetheart, Lee Booker, and we have 2 lovely, lovely daughters. In fact, we just celebrated our 48th wedding anniversary. So we've been blessed beyond measure.
Yes.
I worked for Capital Broadcasting Company for 30 years and climbed the corporate ladder. I was the first African-American female to ever sell advertising for Capital Broadcasting.
Awesome.
Yes. And we broke all kinds of records. And then once I got into management, I was blessed enough to hire some really good people who have now gone on to bigger markets than the Raleigh-Durham market. And they're working and hiring and firing and training people. Yeah. And they owe a lot to Evelyn Booker, they say. In fact, I've written a book entitled A Winner in Spite Of.
Yeah.
The first 5 people that I hired actually wrote a letter in the book. And I call that chapter Paying It Forward, which means that if you help people, everything is cyclical. It actually comes back. And I can tell you things are already coming back through my daughters and our grandkids. So it pays huge dividends, trust me.
Oh, yes.
But a little bit about my business. I have a business called EBO Consulting. And EBO, when I was in television, your television name was the first initial of your first name and the first 2 initials of your last name, thusly EBO. And that's the title of my company, EBO Consultants.
Okay.
But I work with nonprofits as well as for-profit organizations and individuals to help them gain a competitive edge.
Yes.
To get them to train their people so that they are the contributors that they would like them to be. So I like to take a company from being a good company to an excellent company. And that's by involving your employees from day one, getting their buy-in, planning your work and working your plan.
Right.
And then that yields a successful team.
Amen. Amen to that.
Additionally, in this book, I have what I call the recipe for success. And that's one of the things that I talk to the companies about, ensuring that that recipe for success is prevalent in their companies. And when you follow those recipes or those 10 steps, I guarantee you, your team will be successful. And the good thing about having employees and getting their buy-in, if they feel appreciated, then they will give you 100% plus. So you've got to get them involved, not just from the monetary aspect, but from a physical aspect too. I know all of you have probably heard of Zig Ziglar, and he has this wheel of life, and there are 7 spokes, including financial, family. And if any one of those spokes is out of alignment, it knocks all of them out of alignment. So the key is to stay balanced. And that's one of the things I work with the companies and teams on too, is the importance of finding balance in life.
Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what are some things, I guess, with the Tellegis, when you were doing the advertisement, some of the tips that you created to be the best?
I didn't hear you. Now, some of the what?
Some of the tips that you created to help your team be the best?
Oh, the first thing is to always establish expectations. You have to establish expectations in order to manage those expectations. And we also had what we call SMART goals. So everybody had to do their SMART goals, as well as they had to establish goals for themselves. And I always told them to make sure that their goals exceeded what management had put in place for them. And in that way, you're sure to win. But in those SMART goals, the acronym, the S stands for being specific, okay? The M, and most people who've been in sales will know this, but the M stands for measurable. You've got to be able to measure where you are. Check periodically to see, where am I in terms of reaching those goals? And the things that you're doing well, emulate that. The things that you're not doing well, throw those out and start over, because those are your goals. And the A stands for accountable. Who are you going to hold accountable in helping you attain those goals? Okay. The R, responsible. You ultimately are responsible. So no matter what, other people can give input. They can be instrumental.
That's right.
But the buck stops with you. Okay.
Right.
And T is trackable. Make sure you can track your progress. So they would have to establish SMART goals, and then they would also have to do a self-evaluation. So at the end of 6 months and at the end of 12 months, you compared your notes with theirs, and you would be surprised 9 times out of 10, everybody is right on point, because it goes back to that establishing expectations.
Yes, ma'am.
But the best thing is to have a plan and to review that plan. I would also do what we called a sales planning session, which everybody was part of. I would give them 2 months to plan what they were going to bring to the table and to share with the entire team how they were going to achieve their goals. And so from being at a television station, you had the general manager, you had the programming director. The programming director actually would present as well, because they negotiated with syndicators the programs that we would air on the station. And everybody knows that ratings equal revenue equals share. And that's your goal, is to get the biggest share of any piece of business that you possibly can. So everybody brought their ideas to the table. We had a creative services department that actually wrote the commercials for our salespeople. And then the other crucial member of the team was the traffic department. And they would actually log all of our commercials. We had a local team and a national team. So the local team had all of our local clients, but the national sales manager had offices throughout the United States that we would have to visit. And they were also accountable for the Mercedes-Benz of the world, the bigger national accounts.
Right.
But everybody played a part on that day. And they knew exactly what they were supposed to bring to the table and how long their segment would be.
I love it.
So those were the things that we did. And at the end of the year, we would do a year-end review to show what we were accountable for, what we actually brought to the table, and how that compares. Then we'd also compare the current year to last year's performance. And that was that we would give to upper management and corporate, so that they could track as well how we were doing.
I love it. It's all about having a system, putting things in place for measurements and tracking and evaluating. Awesome. So bringing you up to where you are now, what are you doing now?
Well, I'm actually helping some nonprofits like Shaw University, which is a historically Black university. And they've done a documentary on their 100 years as a college and a university. And the 1-hour documentary highlights all of the stages that they've gone through. And I'm trying to secure underwriters to support that program. So I'm working with some nonprofit organizations and helping them secure funding. But I'm also promoting my book. And that's the biggest thing. If you go to Amazon.com and look at some of the reviews, one professor wrote that this book should be mandatory reading for every high school student, every college student, and anybody working in corporate America. So yes, when you read those reviews, it's truly amazing. So my goal is to get this book into the hands of all high school students and college students to share with them the recipe for success.
Love it.
And to let you know, no matter what kinds of obstacles come in your way, you keep believing in yourself.
That's right.
And if you set those goals for you, nobody can take that away. But the most important ingredient in my recipe is to keep God centered first.
Right.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
Get ready to ignite your inner spark and embrace the extraordinary. Imagine a world where your unique gifts, talents, and ministry are not just ordinary, but divine connections to something greater. Introducing the Divine Connections Apparel, your gateway to radiant your inner brilliance like never before. From trendy hats that will make you stand out in a crowd to stylish shirts that'll let you express your divine essence and cozy hoodies that'll wrap you in a warm and positivity. We've got it all, but that's not all. We also have jackets, socks, pillows, towels, blankets, and so much more. Are you ready to step into the spotlight and shine like the star you are? Then head on over to bit.ly/Divine Connection Store right now. Don't wait, because the world is waiting on you to embrace your divine connections and spread your unique light. Order today and let the world see the true essence of your extraordinary self. You are a divine connections, and it's time to let your light shine.
I'm connected.